like you lost another one.
Happy Tastastic Tuesdays, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Conversations with Taz. And as always, I got the co-hostess with Moses here, D-Mac 555 on the Ticker Talk. And tonight we're getting into a very touchy but very necessary subject of child abduction and why this new trend, this new phenomenon is going on, where we have grown men, specifically cisgendered, Anglo-Saxon, Christian, and yes, I'm using the air quotes, straight men blaming the victims of kidnapping instead of the perpetrators.
Okay, so to give everybody clue and context, there was a video put out, I want to say about 2 days ago, like in between Saturday and Sunday. I happened to wind up seeing it on Sunday. And Sunday. And I wound up seeing it and I was like, oh my gosh, girl missing, was taken right off the street, apparently, by a white man in a black pickup truck. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on? So I couldn't save it or stitch it or duet it to get the word out to keep social media buzzing. So what I did was I screen recorded it. Then I made sure to tag the person who had first did the alert there. And then I tagged as many missing children, Black Amber Alert. I made sure to put everything in there so that we could get the word out as much as we can. And so today, now that was 1 day ago. So yesterday it was moving. And again, I was checking my TikTok throughout that day. I really didn't check until later on. When yesterday afternoon that I found out she was found. So thank God she was found. Thank the Lord for that. Because, not too many of these kids get found in a certain amount of time. So then this morning I wake up and I see a comment on the video I made using the woman's content. And the dude literally said, well, you need to stop telling your girls to be walking by themselves or without them, or make sure that they have a weapon or that they're trained in self-defense. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, oh wait, hold up. Let me make sure I'm reading that right. Because I said, Lord, maybe I'm misreading. And let's also point at the fact the dude liked the video and commented that. So I made a response video. I don't know if you have it or if you can pull it up.
I put in a ticket because remember the other night, for some reason now all of a sudden we can't share videos. So I put in a ticket on YouTube and through our service because I do not know which is which. And yes, for those of you that go, Tez, you work in IT, but there's only so far I can go without breaking that legality barrier.
Hold on, I'll pull it up then. And we'll just...
Because I did a tester before we went live, and it's still telling me it's an error, and it's the same format that we've been using. So my apologies to our viewers and our loyal viewers. But while he's pulling that up... go ahead.
Hold on 1 second. So if you go to my page on TikTok, it's DMAC5x5. I'm going to play it. Hopefully it's loud enough where you guys can hear it. Or hold on. I keep forgetting I have a speaker. Sometimes I keep forgetting that I have a speaker that can play things loud so everybody can hear. All right. So I got it timed to the speaker. Let me know if it's too loud. Really? Oh, for heaven's sakes. Sometimes technology just doesn't work. No. Sorry.
That was eye-opening. But while he's getting that together, if you all look at the banner I just put up, please, 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 I'm partnered with them on Instagram and on Facebook. Download Ebony Alert. It's available across all platforms, and you can be informed on missing Black and brown children and adults, because men do get taken too.
And women.
And boys get taken also. And everybody wants to focus on women and girls. And yes, I know I'm a woman. I know I'm a cisgendered woman, but that does not negate that things also happen to other genders and other people who identify with others differently than the societal norm. I'll say that.
Geeky, you ain't right. Don't be talking about people.
Oh,
look at him. Mm-hmm.
Gigi, you ain't nothing but a hop, skip, and a jump for me. And for those of you all that want to join us at our winery takeover, we are giving you some time to get your coins together to meet us in Huntsville, Alabama at Robbins Garden Winery. We're going to be hitting there in February. So we'll be putting out a bunch of different teasers leading up to that. So meet us there. Come meet us in person.
Okay, so I'm going to play it.
Okay.
So you really thought you ate with this comment, right? Is this you? So now that we've gotten the preliminaries out of the way, let's address this. What did you think that white man who took her was going to do to her? Because the fact that she was walking, whether to school, from school, or wherever, to a friend's house, does not negate that this man scooped her up off of the street and left with her. Again, thankfully she's been returned home, but what did you think was going to happen? What do you think that's happened to the almost near 40 Black children, both boys and girls, that are now missing? Because unlike you alabaster demon, these kids go missing and there's no news coverage. But one of y'all's go missing, oh my God, the whole entire world needs to know. So again, I ask you, why can't we teach boys not to objectify women? Why can't we teach boys that when a woman says no, it means no? There's no need for a context clue. There's no need to keep constantly pounding her or pesting her to quote unquote change her mind. I get real sick and tired of you kind of dudes up on this app who sit here and think that a woman is supposed to sit there and bow down to you. I'm sorry, baby. She's not. She does not need to, nor will she ever. So the very next time that you want to leave some racist or misogynistic comment in my video, be prepared. I will literally eviscerate you. I don't care who you are. You don't say stuff like that. That wasn't necessary. It wasn't. So the fact that you thought you could comment something like this on my page and I wasn't going to say anything, hey, sorry, you're not going to get away with that. So again, if you want to have a discussion, put your face in your profile pic. Man up. Because this ain't even cute. I don't find this comment funny. I'm just like, why would you even think typing this was going to be okay? What if it was your child that was missing and it was a girl? Would you tell somebody who had made a video about her trying to help you find her that, oh, you shouldn't let her walk around alone or have a weapon? So you really thought you ate?
And see, that's the thing. Far too often, I'm going to remove gender from this. And I'm going to speak in absolute definitives. Far too often, victims are made to carry the burden of them becoming victims, as if predators don't and perpetrators don't have the ability to hide in the shadows before they pounce. There was a case where a young lady was going to school and was spotted just standing at her bus stop. She was kidnapped and her entire family was murdered. She had no way to stop it, no way to prevent it. Would you still blame her? And last week, on another show of mine, we discussed how anyone who is actively dating or romantically involved with men, how to protect yourself. And it's sad that we have to say that when it comes to men. And it doesn't matter what country you're in. So let's not just say, oh, this is a United States thing or this is a North America thing. No, it's a worldwide thing. Excuse me. Even if I have a weapon, I'm a domestic abuse survivor. I'm an SA survivor. Have I had weapons taken away from me? Yes. Have I spent a whole 24 hours in jail, in solitary, because I pulled a weapon on my abuser and I was the one hauled off to jail? Yes. What did that stop? Because in my domestic abuse situation, when I got picked up, I wasn't picked up with my phone. I had personal items stolen from my home because his friends were like, oh, we didn't think you were coming back. And they thought that because they consulted with him as to what to tell the cops and what to put down on their statement. I was not offered a phone call to anyone. Yes, I know how illegal that was. You know who came to pick me up? And I took pause and told the woman this? His father. Do you know how terrified I was that I wasn't going to make it home? But I was like, I got to get back to a phone. I know my daddy's number by heart. My daddy old school. He still has a landline. I know that number like I know my name. But saying, oh, you, the Black and brown community, can prevent your children from being taken by giving them weapons? Which one of us is professionally trained? I'll wait. And like I said, when I pulled a weapon on my abuser, my attacker, someone that was trying to force me to leave my current location and go to another one, I ended up spending 24 hours in jail, solitarily confined, stripped to my birthday suit. And they knew I had been given no access to anyone. And the person they sent to come get me was my abuser's father. So how does that make anything any better? The only reason y'all see me to this day is because of the buddy system that I have set up with my best friend. And because she could not reach me at certain intervals, and she was like, this is not normal for her, she started calling around. And then she started calling people and alerting people. So tell me once again how just giving weapons is supposed to be the end all to be all. Because when we have, just like the conservative GOP talking point, good guys with guns save lives, unless that good guy with a gun looks like anybody on this panel. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me if I'm lying, I will apologize right here on air. If I told any falsehoods, check me right here on air. I will apologize and I will retract my statements. Anybody?
I got nothing. But also we're gonna tack on to this. We're gonna tack on. And I really want you guys to give me your honest answers in the comments and on the panel. Um, Out of the amount of school shootings,
Real quick, I'm gonna cut my camera real quick because I gotta fix a cord and it's gonna disconnect me anyway, and I don't want to disconnect
okay,
the sound or anything. But I'll be able to
okay,
respond. I'm just cutting the camera.
okay. So, out of the amount of school shootings that have happened, I'll say from 1999 and on, because as you've seen from 1999 and on, it's been amped up since then. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Monty.
It has been.
Your mic is not working again, Monty. What is the technical issues?
No, he muted himself. Monty, unmute yourself.
Please.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I was waiting for you guys to finish talking before I
you can always, what?
First of all, you a damn motherfucking lie. And Geeky, I'm gonna come down there and fight you. I just don't like that.
Anyway, but correct me if I'm wrong. It has amped up since 1999 when the Columbine shooting happened. Yes.
Yes.
That and mass shootings. I'll link them together. For the most part, like it has gone exponentially up from there. And someone on TikTok, I forgot that I did like the video and commented, and she had made a point of saying that we can't remember or even acknowledge the victims in those cases. We can acknowledge the shooters. Why? Because the press gives them all this clout and craziness, and it's on constant media replay. So we know that the people who did the act, but not the people who have suffered from it. Like any of the kids that have passed in the past couple of school shootings, do we know their names at all? Do we even remember?
And I agree with something that I saw on Twitter where they said we should stop naming the perpetrators and just go shooter number 87, shooter number 86, and not rewind it or start from 1 at the beginning of the year. Keep the tally going to let people know how heinous this is. And as a mother who had to sit on the sidelines as 2 of her children were in high school and 2 were in middle school and there was a bomb threat, and these schools are connected. It's basically one humongous building. And I felt helpless. And I started getting texts from my children going, Mom, I love you. This needs to stop. And the thing about it is, I'm glad you brought up the Columbine, because that's when the fucked up narrative started. That, these kids were bullied. No, it came out. The shooters were the bullies. If you have the goal to go and shoot someone, you are the bully. Because you sat alone at lunch, you were a fucked up individual. I know I was the weird kid in school. And then finally I got to a school where everybody was just as weird and artsy and nerdy as me. It was a collection of blurs, and we just meshed. But the thing of it is, it's the bullies that are going to come. Like this last shooting, this boy had no marks, nothing about bullying. And his mother's like, don't do it. I know we bought you a gun, but don't do it. Don't get caught. That's not a bully situation. Stop taking the complexion for protection and giving them freaking excuses.
Just a small point of order. I'll say this to that. See, here's the problem. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have seen the movie Lean on Me. If you haven't, go watch it. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. And it shows one particular aspect that I'm about to speak about. Now, with this particular principal, he's a principal, sorry. He literally encountered his kids, and he made sure that the teachers and the students realize what they're there to do. That it's not just you come in and that's it. And you go about your day and then you leave after school is over. No, you're there to learn. You're there to teach. and these two need to be working in congruence with each other. And then there's one scene where one of his favorite students, her mother kicked her out because she got pregnant. And I don't know if it was him and the vice principal or just him going to talk to the mother. And he told her, he was just like, you're literally perpetuating the same cycle, because she's going to do the same thing when her daughter or her son, comes of age. She's going to do the same thing that you did. So right now is not the time to be, chucking her to the wind. Right now, you need to be rallying around her and keep her focused on what she needs to be doing. Yes, she made a mistake. Yes, there's a child coming, but don't let her face that alone. And so, see, here's the thing. With a child development, there's got to be, for lack of a better word, for any of you gamers out there, it's got to be a Triforce kind of a thing. You got to have your parents at the top. You got to have the child at either the left or the right, doesn't matter, whichever one, and then you got to have whatever institution that they're going to reinforce what you're getting at home and what you're getting at school, and all three of those should be reinforcing each other. So the kids should be wanting to ask questions at home and at school, so that if there's a problem, the parents should be the first ones that recognize that if there's a problem, or if there's something going on, or if there's somebody bothering them, or that their child has changed their attitude. If you see your child literally change their attitude, that's when you need to start asking questions like, what's going on? Is there something you want to tell me? Even if it's small little things, be like, hey, I see you're not doing this today. What's going on? What's going
on? Let's expand that past children. And I'm going to expose myself a little bit here. But it's my story. I can tell my story. You were there to witness it. A few months back, I went through something so horrific that I did not think I could get past it. I did not think that I could overcome it. I gave up. And I was going to just go night-night and wake up with the ancestors. That was my plan. Someone that I thought that I was close to and I could trust, when they called, I answered the phone. Because at the last moment, I kind of had buyer's remorse. And I figured, this person has been around me enough. They know me enough. They will catch on to, I knew I was not acting like myself. Fast forward 48 hours after that, we were all on the phone. They brought up that evening. I admitted, yes, I was not myself. This is what I did. This was my plan. Am I proud of it? No. I am thankful that what I had planned did not come to fruition. Instead of them taking note and realizing the changes in me that were not normal for me, instead of going, okay, how can I help you? Let me get you some help. Let me walk you. They doubled down. And I thank God and the ancestors and the true support system that I have, that it did not push me further on the edge. And I'm not saying that it was, first of all, let me say definitively, it was never in my thought to go out and take other people with me. But you don't know what's going to take someone to that point.
Nope.
I have a dear friend whose son committed suicide by cop. And that friend is still, and their family is still dealing with the repercussions to this day, because you don't know what's going on in somebody's mind. Somebody could want to end it all, but not be able to do it to themselves. And they're like, okay, I know if I do X, Y, and Z, this could happen. Or they externalize their feelings. Yes, I said externalize. And they're like, no, it's not the decisions I made. It's not my attitude. It's them. So if I take them out, my life will get better. And no, I'm not making excuses. I'm trying to let you know the different scenarios. So when you ignore changes in behavior and cries for help, and especially when you double down on someone, And can we please stop demonizing people and go, oh, that was so selfish of you to want to end it all. No, it's selfish of you for you wanting me to hold on. And you sit back and watch me be treated like shit. And you don't have a kind word. You don't have a pat on the back. You just want me to keep forgetting the people who treat me like shit. That's where it comes from. And coming from the other side, stop telling people to live for other people. Stop saying that our worth is tethered to someone else. If you can't tell me that I bring something to you or I bring something to the world as my own, you're not helping. You think that you are, but you are not. When you tell someone, live for your children, I already did. When you tell someone, live for your mother, live for your father, why? Because you don't know where my trauma comes from. So stop tethering people who are in a dark place to other people. Tell them what they mean to you. Tell them to live for them and their dreams and their goals and their hopes. Stop telling them to live for other people, because living for other people is what drives you to that dark place. Because you're trying so hard to make everybody else happy, you're making yourself miserable and you're forgetting yourself. And I'm telling you this from somebody who's been on the other side. And stop ignoring the signs or seeing the signs and demonizing people for you seeing the signs. If somebody is hurting and somebody is on the edge, where do you think they gonna go if here you come telling them that they ain't shit and they're doing this for attention when everything was in private? Because who does this in public? Because even with school shootings, I have yet to see a school shooter go live on anything. So stop. Let us stop giving live coverage. Every school has all sorts of resources where they can watch their children. Put it through there. Block off the streets. Say that there was an accident. And then go, shooter number 97 has been apprehended. And these are their victims. Say their names. Show their pictures. Show their faces.
Yeah, because as of right now, what they're planning on doing is the two girls. I think they're going to be naming the library after them. I think. Again, I've only seen temporary coverage on this, and they want to name the football field after the person who rushed him and got killed in the event. So. Oh gosh, I know the name and it's escaping my brain right now. But I'm just like I was saying, there's no reason that these people why do you think we have so many copycats? Because of this media coverage. Because of this honest media coverage that they give these people so much power and so much clout and so much reasoning over the people who they have hurt or irreparably harmed. Or the families that are now having to go without having their people in their life or without having an injury. You know what I'm saying? Like take the Las Vegas shooting. That if that didn't break you, because that happened literally right after the one in Orlando, I think it was. I think that happened like a couple of months right after that.
And nobody thought that it would happen that quickly. And me being the admittedly paranoid person and paranoid parent and paranoid partner that I am, my youngest daughter that has a little bit too much of me in her, and she hates to admit it, went. But the night of that festival that the shooting happened, thank God she has too much of her mama in her. She got tired. So she was safe and sound, well away, sleep. And when I tell you my anxiety level went up, and I'm 8 minutes from an airport near me. When I tell you I was pulling up to long-term parking because I'm like, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. Ready to go get a ticket on the spot. And yes, I know that's far more expensive. I didn't give a shit. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
And my oldest daughter was like, oh, yeah, I just talked to such and such. And I was like, okay. And I said, let me FaceTime your sister. And I sat in the parking lot in the dark. So she was pretty much looking at me like this. And I didn't care. I needed to see her face and to make sure she wasn't like sitting in somebody's hospital room just telling me. And oh yeah, we got a good one. Impulse.
Yeah, that was the one in Orlando. That's the one I mentioned.
But can we talk about how marginalized communities, especially Black and brown communities, are supposed to be the most dangerous, but we're not committing these crimes?
He's back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
He's
cool.
back. He's whack. No, I'm just playing.
Wow.
I'm just playing. You live too close to me for me to like really mess with you.
But yeah, so
quick sidebar. When I first moved in here, Monty came here once. A year and a half later, he was like, I want to borrow a book. I'm like, okay, let me know in the morning when you're on your way. I'm thinking he's going to need the address again. No, your boy came begging on my door like he was a damn, like he was 12. Like he had a warrant.
But here's the thing that most people,
I remember everything.
You're a mess. A mess. But see, here's my problem, and where we have a disconnect. If you honestly look at, and I stress the word look at, just look. If you honestly dig, and I stress the word people, when I say dig, I mean dig. Okay, don't hate me for this reference. Please do not come for me for this reference. But you gotta dig a little deeper. Just sorry, I couldn't help that one. You
gotta dig a little deeper. Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I couldn't help it.
But it's right. You gotta dig for information that you want. You can't just sit there and expect people to I mean, look at the amount of things that we have quote unquote had to learn in history class, which really wasn't history class. It was indoctrination class. Let's just call it what it was. Because if you didn't go and look and see exactly what happened to these people, both the indigenous people that were here before and the people that were basically taken from one place to another against their will, stacked like cargo in the bottom of a boat due to sickness, disease, and everything else down in the bottom of that hull. God only knows how many of them actually made it across, because they weren't not deemed as human beings, because they were too dark. And see, here's the problem. Here's the honest problem before you launch, because I know you're coming. I know you're coming. I can feel it. Any person of color who was before, boats were what they were and everything what they were. Anytime that we have come into contact with these people, we have always done this. Sorry. Here you go. Come on. Come play with me.
Here you go. You hungry?
Come play with me. Come play. And what do we get? We get bashed in the head. We get diseases thrown at us that our body doesn't know how to handle.
Gigi said I'm winding myself up, but I don't mean to cut you off. But our special guest that we have been waiting for has arrived. So as always, y'all know how we do here. We are very informal, but let us bring him on. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for being able to
Hello.
join us.
Hello. Hey, I'm sorry. My sound is very low, but I'm gonna listen as
We
best as I
we we
can.
can hear you. We got you.
Oh, baby, we can hear you, but introduce yourself to the people. Oh, he actually
Hey, in
drinking.
fact, so communication's better. Let me go grab my earbuds real quick. I will be back in just a second.
Oh, go ahead. Geeky said that I'm winding myself up. I mean, he's not wrong, but he ain't supposed to say that in public. I mean, yeah, you
Just
are.
look away. Just look away, Monty. Just look away. Just look away.
I
Don't
mean,
say nothing. Don't.
are y'all ready?
We ready. We ready, girl. We always ready. But let me finish what I was saying there, because I know he'll probably have a response. You know, we've always offered the olive branch. We've always done the polite thing, and the polite thing has gotten us nothing but trouble. Just nothing but trouble. But I'll catch you. I'll catch you up once he introduce. I'll catch you up once you introduce yourself, my good sir.
Yes, please
Okay.
introduce
Okay,
yourself.
Jamie. Hello. So my name's Chris. I don't really know what kind of a intro. Oh, one. I
What?
mean, I'm friends
Do
with
you?
I'm friends with DMAC because we connected through Ziggy's live stream, right? And I was a guest on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and me and Ziggy were just talking about a bunch of things that like I've noticed since I've invited the like knowledge and I've understood, a lot from um, in all honesty, accepting what was wrong with my past, with everything that I was taught from uh, a bigoted family, and kind of just researching a lot of different kinds of Black history and whatnot, and American history and African history. And then on top of me being in the army with a whole bunch of people from different places around the world, like Africa, Korea, different places in America where communities are just so different and whatnot, it's like I see the difference in so many people, and it's all beautiful. And I just want to embrace different people's cultures, and I want to, in all honesty, bring the world to a better place for everyone.
And
Because,
we appreciate you for that, but I do have to let you know because we are so informal here on my channel. We
hmm
do have we do have horn dogs. So here's horn dog number one. Oh my God, twins, Chris, you were so cute. That's so fun. But Chris, for full disclosure,
hmm
um, I don't know if you gonna hug me, if you gonna come out the bag on me. You and DMAC ended up as mutual because DMAC was like, he was on Ziggy's live. Can you dive into his content and tell me if he's the real deal or not? And
Girl,
I
how you
didn't
gonna expose me like that? The shade.
hold on, wait a
hmm
minute, because we got to give him some credibility because we know when I deep dive, I deep dive. And when I look, I look. And when I research, I research. Um, and I went through all of your stuff. First of all, you are a very handsome gentleman. I will admit.
I thank you very much, ma'am. I do appreciate that.
Okay, please don't call me man. I'm not
Oh,
that old.
oh,
Um,
I'm
I,
disrespectfully.
I'm just messing with you. Calm down, baby. We're jokey. We talk about a lot of hot topics, but we still try to keep it light over here. So
Well, it's all
I'm just
good.
like,
I just have really bad
um,
social anxiety, so I have to like loosen up a bit first.
oh yeah, you're in the right panel. We're all socially anxious here. We don't even know how this show works. Okay, we don't even
Hungry.
know how this show works. It just does. Okay, because
Okay.
we all. um,
I'm mad
but
you. I'm mad you
when
telling
I
on
went
me.
through when I no, I'm telling on myself when I went through.
hmm
And I'm glad you said what you said because I said from my own mouth and I typed it. So I was caught in 4K. I said, you know what? I feel like he had a rocky start, realized he had a rocky start, and chose to correct the rocky start and educate himself.
Yeah,
I
she
said,
did
I
say
believe
that.
that he is genuine and where he is coming from, and he is still willing to learn. If my
Oh, most
assessment
definitely.
was
I do thank you.
incorrect, I will apologize. But I will tell you before the year, I looked into you.
Well,
I mean,
I
you
had
had me.
asked her because be quiet. I
But
had
no, hold
asked
on, wait a
her.
minute. I got one more thing to say. I mean, you had me at the ass. I did. And I will admit that this is how I was watching your videos. I was like, can't look at the ass, can't look at the ass, can't look at the ass. I did have to do that. Because my queer ass is a sucker for some ass. And then I saw you flirting with somebody in the comments, and I was like, she is cute, and he is cute.
oh yeah, that's
And
my
that
lady.
was
That's my girlfriend.
I figured it out, and y'all is cute. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, did you go on her page and see her videos of me and her at when I visited in Jersey and whatnot?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna put that out there now.
Yeah,
Cause
it's all
y'all so
good.
cute. I love y'all. I am rooting
I
for
swear.
y'all.
Yeah, I swear, yo, like, see the total package too, cause like her family is so cool and whatnot, and my family is too to an extent. Um, and then like we honestly vibe good, and I genuinely enjoy the connection that we have. And then on top of that too is like one thing that's really cool, from the knowledge that I have gained, and from the experience that I've had with different people around the world, it's a lot easier for me to, in a way, kind of understand and show my way of respect towards that culture that she holds with her family and with her friends and whatnot. It's just really cool how we vibe and connect. I love it.
Oh, it is so cute. And I'm glad that when I was going through your stuff, I kind of got to see it blossom in the comment section because I was like, oh my God, this is so
Yeah,
cute. This is so
yeah.
wonderful.
Anyway, so as I was saying before she cut me off,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just like, the only reason I honestly, because I was just like, I didn't have time.
I'm gonna go sit in the corner.
Okay.
Anyway, I didn't have time to go through because normally I go through because I've had a run in, and I said I'm not going to do this again. I said
Oh,
I
it's
need to make
completely
sure before I
understandable.
talk.
Completely understandable.
Before I even go there, I was just like, I
I
was
do
like,
it
girl,
to I do it
can you
to
take a
white people
look?
myself. I do it to new white people myself because like the thing that I've understood about that is there is a history that we can legit go see in a history book and understand why the trust and why these safe spaces that we are slowly but surely getting better for y'all and everything like that. It makes sense why that trust issue would be there, and I respect if people want to create space between me and them and see me for genuinely who I am. It's not my is honestly not my job to prove to everybody genuinely who I am, but it is my job to show the world genuinely who I am and let them have their own opinion of that.
Yeah, so I was just like, girl, I can't really do this right now. I know you ain't got nothing else to do right at this second. Can you just take a look? And she was like, sure, no, I got you. I was just like, thanks, because we have been burned before, and we were just like, yeah, we can't take that chance.
Oh hey, I understand that. Freaking, I
But
had to reevaluate my friendship and my relationship and
But
my
he's
family ship and all that.
the only person that knows my coffee time, and he called me during coffee time, so he knew I had time. But then
Uh
I went down the rabbit hole, and
huh.
coffee time turned into like a whole day thing because I was like, what else is there on him? Because there was one lady that buttered up to us and made everything seem so copacetic and so great.
yeah, that didn't end well.
Yeah.
But I was just like, because when you was on Ziggy's live, I was like, ooh, this is nice. This is nice discussion.
Yeah, we did hit on some really good topics, didn't we? Me and Ziggy were really going in.
And then you got to food, and I was just like, oh God, no, don't do food. Please don't do food. We're not ready. We ain't ready.
I think that's when I discovered the live, when y'all got to food. I think the ancestors was like, bitch, this is your lane. Come on over to this lane. Take that out your mouth. Come on over here. Because I was stuffing my face. And then something told me like, and I had a friend, because for some reason my friends like to come over and have adult slumber parties impromptu, and they don't tell me, but they've already planned it out. And they were like, look, your friend is online. I'm like, that's not my friend. I just like him. He does not know that I exist. Please don't put that out in the universe. Or put it out in the universe and maybe we can't be friends and get some Chicago deep dish, but whatever. And they were like, they're talking about food. And I was like, I am here.
Yeah, once y'all got to food, I was done. I was just like, Jesus. He said chicken. And I said, "Oh Lord, here we
Yeah, I
go,
know. I know.
Jesus."
When it comes to cooking, I ain't gonna lie. I have taken my notes very, very detailed and vividly in my mind to know for a fact that I can cook. And fun fact, because I think I told this on Ziggy's live, people didn't believe me in the comments on some levels, but I can understand that because it's a very, very hard, trophy to hold. So I got invited to my barber's cookout Thanksgiving that he held. I brought my homemade sweet potato pies because I do make a good sweet potato pie and whatnot. And when I brought him and whatnot, his name's Mr. Latuan. He's been cutting my hair for the past 4 years and whatnot in Kansas. I was the only white dude there. Felt at home, not gonna lie. But they said I could bring the mac and cheese next time.
Hold on. This is an important question.
I forgot about that
You
moment. I was just
Yeah,
like,
they said I could bring the mac and cheese. I was like,
hold
what?
on. Hold on. I'm saying this as a black woman who, because of circumstances and disease, I've become the Medea of my family at a very
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to tell
seasoned
you how I
age.
make my mac and cheese?
But hold on. No. I got a question. So when you brought the sweet potato pies, I already know the answer, but I need the people to hear it. How many did you go home with?
How many did I go home with?
Mm-hmm.
None.
Everybody else
"That's a
on the
good sweet
panel
potato pie." Then
knows how important that answer is. Because if
Yeah.
you got to do the walk of shame, taking your leftovers out of a gathering,
Yeah,
now when
no.
you and see, there's a difference between when you at home and you cook something because people try to be polite, like, oh shoot, this is the
Yeah.
house.
Oh, I can't take this
We,
with me.
like
Whatever.
we gotta leave them something. So okay, but real quick, because D-Mac brought up something, and real quick,
oh,
y'all know how
Monty,
I
I think we should mute ourselves. I don't know how this is gonna go.
so D-Mac brought up some historical connotations, so let me bring this in further. Because if we're going to talk about indigenous people to the United States and people who were here before the colonizers, we need to pay homage to the Black women who were saddled up even during a time, a whole century where it was taboo to put women on the ship. But Black women were allowed to be on a ship and did an impeccable job of navigating and captaining ships for, oh, that's right, our Latinx brothers and sisters. So there were Black women that were already here procreating with our indigenous brothers and sisters and Spanish brothers and sisters well before 1619 and well before 1620, when everybody wants to start the history of the United States. I'm not going to say America because America is two continents and we're not going to disrespect the rest of the people like that. So when we say that, put some respect on our name as Black women, because not only do we hold the Eve gene, we have been busting open the glass ceiling for so long. That is why cisgender, heterosexual, Christian, white men keep trying to move the glass ceiling because they know it's only a hop, skip, and a jump for us to break it. Because they couldn't handle Sojourner Truth. They couldn't handle Harriet Tubman. They surely couldn't handle Fanny. They still cannot handle Asada, and she's still alive and kicking it. And they are still pissed that nobody will turn her over, even after, General Schwarzkopf. And I'm talking about the original General Schwarzkopf, not the one that y'all want to bow down to from the Gulf War. His daddy that started the New Jersey State Patrol and allowed literal Nazis to come on and build it up and go into her hotel room and give the salute and do atrocious things to her. So we didn't just come over here by force. But let's not forget, we were forced a whitewashed United States of Americanized version of a religion that our ancestors lived through side by side with Cometicism. And it's our ancestors that got passed down the original 82 books of white evangelical Christians, and please stop using the word evangelical, because that means you don't have a church home. That means that you go around teaching the gospel. I know y'all came up with a new word, missionary, but words have meanings. The original 82 books of the Bible. But I digress. I just had to put that in there.
So she would like you to comment. We're gonna comment, but we're gonna give the guest his room.
Oh, they couldn't handle Dr. Angela Davis, baby. They can barely handle me. Do you think they want to tussle with Madam Davis? Do you think they want to tussle with Madam Shakur? Let's not forget, I'm banned from TikTok because they couldn't verbally tussle with me.
So we're gonna let the guest answer your question there. So me and Monty will answer after.
Okay, so sorry I cut out for a bit and whatnot. I had to put my phone in the charger.
Don't apologize. We are very, I am a very no rules, laid back person. If you need to go grab a snack, go potty, do what you do.
I hear you.
We give people things in real life the way that we live it. Okay? So just relax. I like the hoodie because that is, as you can't.
That's her favorite color.
Oh, thank you. So what was the whole entire exact question of the module that you put out now? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, a lot of the history you said I did not know about, so it's kind of a learning moment for me.
Oh, a lot of people. Okay, I'm gonna sound real conceited right now, but that is not my intent. Anybody who's watched me for a while knows that I know me. I am like the ultimate history nerd, and this is literally a monochrome of because if I were to scan down to the bottom to my notes that take up books themselves, most people don't know what I bring out. That's why I bring it out, to educate people. And sidebar, I know that I told you all that I would bring you a 1619 video yesterday. I was given some information from a local historian that I need to confirm. So give me until next Monday to bring you all a video regarding that, because I want to do my due diligence and I don't want to just put things out and not confirm them. And I do. And I need to meet with some indigenous historians to confirm this information. But I digress. But let me wrap this question up like this. As men currently living in the United States, do you really believe that your male ancestry established and created a country and a culture?
No, that is establish a country and a culture. I had a video that I was going to post on TikTok that kind of discussed a little bit of this. It kind of talked about how I view the world as a twin flame.
We're still here.
Oh, okay. I was like, what happened? But so
everybody gets that way their first time on the show. It's okay.
Okay, I hear you. But yeah, so the way I kind of explained it is I look at the world like a twin flame. So the twin flame relationship kind of works like there's the first meet, and the first meet was kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of this is a completely different subject. Let me get my head together. But to put it in my terms, to answer your question, just to get the point, the culture I feel that was created was hate culture. Because one thing that I learned is that English was the language that made the word hate a word in other languages. Because what I've learned from a lot of people from different countries in the world is hate is not a word in some dialects. So there's that. And then another culture that was created was just a straight up like idiotic superiority ideal that would never be possible if it hadn't had been for multiple levels of corruption, if we'll be on that level of things. And then I don't even necessarily want to put it as a country, but more like a safe haven of hell for people who want to cause other people pain. A place where the original idea wasn't meant for anyone else but themselves. A selfish mindset, a toxic one that doesn't bring love and joy to this world, one that just strips it away. It's the best way I can put it.
Actually, you're absolutely right. And I'm glad you brought up the fact that you talk to people from other cultures that have other dialects and other languages, because there's a nugget of fact that people don't know. When colonizers were originally going to the continent of Africa, they couldn't learn the various languages. So they taught English to a handful of African people there. Didn't even see if they knew all of the dialects from all of the countries on the continent and had them translate. But I would like for you to explain your twin flames theory. If you don't
Okay,
mind.
so basically the way that I want to put it is that a twin flame relationship has a first meet, then it has a separation, a clash, and then a revival is the way that I've been explained to it in a certain way. So from that ideology, I look at the world as kind of like a twin flame between kind of like hate and love, like good and evil in a way. So like for instance, the first meet is like basically the Europeans going around in different places all over the world, and seeing all these different kinds of people around the world in different places. And that's the first meet. Then the separation is them kind of like invading, going and fucking shit up, and things not being left right, corruption, disease, stripped away from family ties, ripped away from nations, put away into camps and all this other, enslavement too. And then there's the clash. Look at how much war has happened so recently. Look at how much chaos is happening. Look at how many people are dying. Look at how many people are going missing. Look at how much obvious developed systematic racism is being now shined, and people still are stuck in a whirlpool of ignorance, and they don't know how to get out of it because they just choose not to, and they stay stuck like that. I chose not to stay stuck. Frickin' people just continuously go around and cause mayhem, when in all honesty, if we would just we all kind of have like the same ideal where we want it to be peaceful, or at least the good ones of us. And then that trails on like that. And basically now we're in the recovery stage. We're fighting for the recovery stage technically right now, because right now the way I look at it in the world is we're trying to have appeasement, come to peace about a lot of things, come to terms with a lot of others. People are fighting for the correct history to be shown in America, which is needed for truth to happen throughout, and knowledge is power through everything. So there's that. And then it's just like, recovery is finally everyone being able to be treated fair. And then hopefully the world will stay like that, because I wake up every day and I feel like I'm destined to change the world in some way. I've felt that since I was little, and I don't know what my true destiny is, but I feel being knowledgeable and being on the right team of just humanity in general is the best place for me to start.
I completely agree.
Can I just say I just got lost and just was just like, Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of people who want to distance Egypt from the continent
It's
of
cold outside. I
Africa,
ain't getting emotional.
but a lot of people that want to distance Egypt from the continent of Africa, a lot of times you want to do that after you've done missionary work. And the reason why you want to do that is because you don't understand Mizrahi. Mizrahi was the original name of Egypt. And because we're looking at modern maps, just like if you look at a map from 200-300 years ago, you'll see Constantinople. It's now Istanbul.
Yeah.
Places change names. And
Yeah.
so when they see Mizrahi, they take it away because they're like, oh, Mizrahi sounds Muslim. And yes, it's Muslim. There's no Z in it. And they try to equate it to something else. And they go, oh no, they couldn't have been black because they did this, that, and the other. Baby, we couldn't have been white because you didn't know how to do anything. But DMAC and
Did she freeze?
Yeah, it looked like she
Yeah.
did.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Take
Girl,
a screenshot of that.
I really
Make that
want to.
face.
I want to take a screenshot. But let me say this before we do our final thoughts. And if you honestly take a look, like just okay, so keep this in your mind if you can picture this. Look at the architecture that we have created now. Like all of it, like all over the world. Look at the architecture that we in this era of, technology is everything and big and everything. Look at what the architecture that we've created now. Now judge that by what the architecture they were building back in those days.
Right.
Do you see, like, if there's I think in the Aztecs where the Aztecs were, if you look at their temples, the detailing
And how long it's
is
lasted
utterly
too.
ridiculous. I'm like, when I looked at that architecture, I was just like, even with our lasers, we were cutting like that. How? Please tell me. But they want to attribute that to, aliens came. I was just like, no. They knew how to work.
because when you decide to not learn and whitewash everything, you're going to bury what could have propelled you past generations. Because just like the United States messed up, they chose Edison over Tesla, and Edison was a thief. Everything that we equate Edison with came from either Tesla or the Edison 8, and the Edison 8 were 8 enslaved black men who were not societally educated.
I didn't even know that about the Edison 8. I love learning. Shit, this is.
I mean, it's just okay.
Chris, come my way.
A mess.
I got
Shush.
all this
Shush.
for you, Chris.
Don't make me call your dad.
Oh, what?
Thank you. Anyway.
Phone arrest.
Just like you shouldn't have cousins on your show, but here we are.
But it just amazes me when people like those gullible, what was it 75 or 73 or 53 million people who voted for 45, whichever number it was, and I'm just like, you're discounting the inventions that have literally saved your life on countless occasions: the alarm system, the gas mask, the traffic light, the elevator, the ironing board, vaccines,
Exhaust pipes, archways, plasma.
the dome at the Washington Monument in the Congress, near the, I think, is it the Congress building?
Yeah. The ability to enter space, plasma, heart surgery, Organ transplants. Should I go on?
Dental care.
Oh, bookbinding.
Thank you for
I
dental
was
care.
like,
Thank you.
I was
Hold
like
on.
dental care. Like, hello.
Bookbinding, ink, pens, paper, the written word. Oh, let's even go more simple than that. Bathing and hair care.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, hey, let's go one step further just to touch on what J-Mac was talking about. How about the literal exact blueprinting of a stable structure? Because I would like to quote this real quick. I would like to quote the kingdom of I'm not going to say the name wrong, but Northwest Africa, there was a kingdom that was there and shining for a long time, and literally it is a the blueprint copy is one of the main buildings that we use today, and it's actually our schools.
That is the kingdom of Queen Nzinga.
Say what now?
That is the kingdom of Queen Nzinga, and she actually moved her kingdom down through the northern peninsula of Africa. Because after she did such great things, because she had a vagina, not a penis, her nephew was put into power above her, and he had no idea what to do. But what you're talking about in the structural references comes from Queen Nzinga.
Noted.
I mean,
I'm glad we got that connection, because now I can actually put that info
see,
in
now
there.
you can pump her for information. She's
Yeah,
like a well of it.
Well, hey, shoot. I mean,
my only thing is, don't
I
do
feel
me
like-
like my daddy does. Don't hit me up and be like, "Hey Google, don't do that. Don't do don't
Do
that."
it. Do it. I got your back. I got your back. Do it.
My
Do it.
daddy,
I got you.
No,
my
I'm good.
daddy
I'm good. I
literally
ain't coming.
calls me, and I'll be like, "Hello," and he's like, "Hey Google," and I'm like, "I can't cuss you out. I want to." But a lot of people in the comments, it's Edison 8, not Edison 9. It's the Edison 8. Also, the only reason we got to the moon was because of a collection of women, Black women, mathematicians and scientists.
There was a movie on this, or a TV show or something on it.
Hidden Figures. I mean, and just like anytime they decide to tell our stories, they always have to put in a white savior, and they did that. And if y'all want me to go into depth about where some of these movies go off of the rails and go away from historical context, I will do that for you. Just let me know. But let me also put in this little tiny nugget. Not only did the United States get it wrong when they chose Edison over Tesla, because Edison literally took a job at the patent office in order to steal people's patents. But y'all ain't ready to talk about that. Can we talk about the fact that the shoes that y'all love and the fact that you get them so quickly, that invention, the automatic shoe cobbler, came from a Black man. His family is still fighting to get the rights and the money from it. That Jack Daniels you love so much, that origin story that they came up with was false. He stole the recipe from a Black man. And I say this to let you know that when you sit here and look at your favorite actor or actress or rapper or singer, and they give you a woe is me, they're stealing that origin story from Black people because they love that pull yourself up from the bootstraps when they know they're stealing from Black people. Because if you love and adore Elvis, you're a racist. Elvis didn't have an original move, an original song, an original anything of his own. Not once. And even Lady Antebellum that decided to, let me translate this for you all, call themselves Lady the Age of Slavery. knew what they were doing, and when they decided to change their name to Lady A, knew that they would be stealing the name, the reputation, the online presence, and the record sales from a black jazz singer and blues singer, and still
Name
didn't
Lady
pay.
A.
Because when the Dixie Chicks were like, you know what, even as inclusive as we've been, we didn't see anything wrong as three white women as saying Dixie. We educated ourselves. We evolved ourselves. We need to take Dixie out of our names. They spent years researching to make sure they wouldn't step on anybody's toes. But I know some people are going to be like, Taz, you're reaching. Bitch, I stretched and I never reached. So let's get into it. Why is it that there's only a big fight when people have to go up against black and brown women? Because if it wasn't Lady A and it was Sir A, I don't think they would have had this fight. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Now, real quick, before, because I like to keep my algorithm thinking, like they don't know what the hell I'm really looking for.
We don't know what you're looking for, Monty.
There's
videos.
Trying to
figure this
Shush.
out.
There's videos of them trying to disprove the Jack Daniels story, that a black man really didn't find the recipe. And it just, when you said that, it just made me laugh. I was like, damn, they really do try to whitewash everything.
The main thing that gets me, my bad.
I live in the state of Jack Daniels, where you can take a tour of where they make Jack Daniels. I'm not trying to get sued, so I'm going to say this as generally
because they will put it out.
What I'm going to say, take the tour. When you watch the tour and they show you the real deal Holyfield of how they age everything, you can't tell me that ain't some broke dude shit. So you gonna tell me that a rich white man decided he ain't never been broke or poor in his life, but some way, somehow, he found out how broken poor people do stuff, and he wanted to do it that way, and they still do it this way. And anybody who's grown up broke or poor, y'all know what I mean when I say, when you preserve some stuff, because you know you ain't gonna have money next week to eat. That's how it's made. And if you think I'm joking, come on to my good old Commonwealth. I'll go with you and take the tour with you. And I was about to say, I will record you getting that epiphany on your face.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Chris?
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, that's Cries with Wolves. I thought that said Chris with Waves. I'm sorry.
No,
anyway.
that's Monty. He always changes his name to mess with us.
Oh, okay, I hear you, but what's up, Monty? But yeah, so the thing I wanted to say about the, I'm drawing a blank. I hate myself. Remind me about what we were talking about just now. I'm being so serious.
The Jack Daniels.
Yeah, so the thing that always got me about the Jack Daniels thing is how the fuck when they do the commercial, right? How in the fuck is it was created in the county that's also a dry county, and the only place that you can buy it is in the county over, because the county that it was made in is still a dry county. That always got me confused.
You picked up on that.
Because that always confused me, because I'm over here like, well, wait a minute. Why would a county that made it that's dry? Because it would make sense why rich neighborhoods in that time frame would actually be a dry county, because they said at the time and whatnot that alcohol adds populated people that they don't want. We already know what we mean by that. And then two, they said it also made more heinous crimes pop up in their neighborhoods, and they said they don't want that because it would attract bad company. We already know what we mean by that. So there's all that. So with that all being said, it actually makes sense why it would be the story switch up being in a different county. So yeah, that does make sense. And then another thing that makes sense about it being a poor man's method in this case, it kind of reminds me of the historical thing that happened in England when they did the spice raid of India, and it brought up a bunch of spices being more available to poor people back in the time frame. So what had happened was is rich people were noticing that spices were becoming more available. The poor people knew how to make better food. So then the rich people just said they didn't need seasoning because their food was that much better. Thus the term why we understand why bullshit white people don't season their food. So yeah.
He just took us on a trip.
Chris, hold on. For the people, when I tried to explain this in several episodes before, D-Mac, you remember this. And for all of y'all that came from me in the comments that wasn't regular and said that I did not know my history, did this brother from another mother, not just without seeing my content, just
I'm not saying
also, I am so glad that you brought up the counties, because I've been trying to explain to people as long as I've lived in this fucked up ass Commonwealth. First of all, dry counties are determined, dry counties and wet counties are determined by who has the most money. And if people think that they're too good for anything, they don't want it in their county. And they'll put up a good front. So that means during the week, they'll stock up on their libations. So on certain days, when the county becomes dry, because it's only certain days that a county is dry, it's not 7 days a week. They look like the good Christian ones. But if you go to a restaurant, you can still get the libations. Make it make sense to me, but I digress.
My county I came from literally just became a wet county this year.
Interesting.
You know what?
I wonder why.
I was about to say something, but I'm gonna let it go because
no, I'm from the hickest of towns.
I know you like to tussle, and I ain't about to do that with you right now. But there are also times where this is what people don't realize. You will have somebody moonshining for the governor and have contracts in wet counties, but moonshining out of a dry county. You want to know why they're moonshining out of a dry county? Cops ain't looking for booze in a dry county because they actually believe that the good white people of that county would never. That's why in my Commonwealth, the biggest Mary Jane lovers don't get caught. Because when they plant, grow, and harvest, nobody's looking for them. Because it's illegal in their county. Why would you look for it in their county? We don't do those things. We obey the laws in the county.
That kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense how like West Virginia was mainly known for bootlegging, and it was predominantly a bunch of whitewashed towns with small people, and then Virginia was getting more populated with Black people from the South, and at the time Virginia was opening a lot more rights and availability to different people and becoming a wet state in general. And it makes sense why West Virginia was mainly known for moonshine bootlegging, and Virginia was known for its drug warfare in the later years.
There is a movie. I'm sorry, you guys. The title of the movie evades me, but you can Google this. It's based on a true story, and it stars Richard Pryor.
I love Richard Pryor.
And it tells the tale of one of the first Black NASCAR drivers and how he got his start. And at the beginning of that movie, it tells you the true story of bootlegging and liquor running in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Because the character that he portrays, who is a real person, because he drove so fast and so well, he was able to transport moonshine from state to state undetected. But you all can look it up. Like I said, I can't. The name of the movie is eluding me.
Grease
But
Lightning.
Oh, there we go.
I do it in real time, babe. You should know me by now.
I know, but I couldn't. Usually, I'm better at this. Like usually, and I was even looking down at my notes, like, I my notes.
That's why you have me. I know how to do one finger and still be paying attention.
Exactamundo. But we've gone well over our 1 hour, and baby Chris, I'd love to have you back, if you would be willing.
Of course.
But at the end of the show, we do give our final thoughts. So we're going to give our final thoughts. I give my last. Wait a minute, D-Mac, let's start with you.
Let the guest go first.
No, let's start with you, so he understands how the final thoughts go, because.
Fine.
We
yes,
don't
ma'am.
We don't want to put him on the spot, and he doesn't know how we do final thoughts.
Okay. I'm going. So with what?
Your mama.
Girl, your daddy's on my speed dial.
And your mama on mine.
No, she ain't.
Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
her Christmas gift is already on the way. It's bringing.
Anyway, so I would say with what we've discussed thus far, especially with regards to what we started out with us, like people blaming the victim for something that happens to them when they don't have anything to do with what happens to them because it happened to them. We really need to honestly take a look at basically, give that person one news cycle of what they've done and then forget about them, literally number them and go about our business. Remember the victims, because at the end of the day, I can't remember half of the victims out of these school shootings that have happened from 1999 until now. I don't remember their names. I have no clue. They're never talking about. It's always the shooters in the case that are talked about on a constant rotation. So I know most of the names from the people who've been doing the shootings, but never the victims who have suffered from these shootings. That should never be. The victim is the one in who needs to be remembered, not the person who did the actual thing. Monty?
First off, I want to apologize for all the technical difficulties tonight. I was struggling over here.
You're always struggling. Do your shameless water plug.
Oh, I ain't going to do it today. They know they're wrong for not calling. So, we're still waiting. You know who you are. But no, my biggest thing from tonight is just, shit, I had it. I was over here thinking while D-Mac was talking, and he made a good point, so it kind of distracted me. The victims, like, we do. I'm just going to piggyback off of D-Mac. We got to start learning their names. I try to forget every murderer because that's what they are. They're murderers. I try to forget their names. I don't like saying any of their names. I think we need to get off of saying their names. Stop putting their names out. I just seen an interview today from the one kid in Minnesota. Minnesota shootings. Like, y'all know who he is. I'm not going to say his name on here. I'm tired of seeing him parading around, getting a media tour. Like, the hell, he's a murderer. And nobody's talking about all the victims. Like, there's 2 people he killed, 1 person he shot. 8 people was shot before at the school in Oxford. So I'm like, shut up, Google. My Google just started talking because it just hears me rambling. But
Cause you married to your Google motherfucker.
I am. I love it. But no, we got to start paying more attention to them. Pay attention to their families. Fuck these killers, for real. That's it.
Exactly, like Rittenhouse.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say his name because he doesn't deserve it. Like, he doesn't deserve all these people going around. Like, yeah, he got off scot-free. Everybody knew that was going to happen. We're in America.
Oh no, beginning tomorrow. Well, I've already started drafting the petition for the ADA because he broke federal statute by perjuring himself on the stand. So after I have 3 more attorneys to meet with tomorrow to make sure I have the wording right and I have proper standing, I will make it public and everybody can sign it. We're going to sign a petition to get the ADA to bring him back up on charges because he perjured himself on multiple levels. And he perjured himself on enough levels that if found guilty on all these counts, he'd get the same amount for killing someone. But I digress. Chris, your final thoughts on tonight?
My dad just walked outside. My final thoughts. So I honestly want to be the devil's advocate about y'all's point of view about victim versus the victimizer. I agree with y'all on the standpoint of we need to recognize the victims. That should be the main focus because those are people who are still here because those victims, you know, the trailing effect to their families and their friends. So those are people who are still here. We have to focus on that, yes. But the thing that I take from the victimizer is more of a learning standpoint of, hey, what caused this? Hey, what happened? Hey, what was this? Why did that? The reason is because of later in life we can be more aware of certain situations leading up and we can see earlier stages of psychological defects and maybe other standpoints that maybe some people don't see, and the more people are knowledgeable about this stuff, the more it would be easier for us to catch or even help the situation or even move to stopping every single situation completely. So that's my point of view on that. But the main closing thought that I wanted to get to is enjoying the knowledge that we have to spread with one another. Because I learned this from somebody today, is when we wake up in the morning and we take that first step out of bed, or we do whatever we do through our day, we have something for someone. Someone has something for us. We have something for one person, and then we have something for another group. So for instance, in this case, I had something for y'all three, and each individual of us had something for the rest. And then everyone watching had something from all of us and had something from them and everyone in the comments. So it's kind of just like a network connecting world of knowledge. And I just love embracing that because I don't feel like we celebrate knowledge as much as we should in this world. And knowledge is a very beautiful thing to have. And in all honesty, the more knowledge we have collectively as a group, the better of a society we will grow. So that is my genuine thing that I would like to say.
Facts.
I am so glad that your first time on here, that's what you got, because that is my goal.
Yeah, and by the way, speaking of gaining knowledge, I'm actually reading a Malcolm X book right now for his story because I was very caught by how I find it so completely convenient for the situation that his daughter who found the letter just so happened to be founded by her daughter, right? That was the scenario that happened with the police officer and everything.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, yeah. I find it so convenient for all of those pigs to have this little get to the fucking bottom of that shit. That's like my biggest goal right now because I'm diving deep into everything Malcolm right now. Like,
well,
that is
here's the thing. There is a docuseries on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest you watch the docuseries. I'm saying this because my own personal research, up until I knew that docuseries existed and somebody brought it to my attention, it will be eye-opening. But which of the Malcolm books are you reading?
Shoot. Let me grab it real quick. If you want, you can do your closing thoughts, or if you want to wait for me, it'll take like 2 seconds to get into my backpack.
I'm going to wait because I may be able to help you and give you some, like,
Perspective.
not only perspective, but like some additional information to bring things into context for you.
Okay.
The one thing about the docuseries, though, that kind of irritated me was how the day before they go up to the one who actually pulled the killing trigger.
Yeah, I
he
know.
just so happened to die. I'm just like,
don't say that. I know.
I was like, come on now.
Money.
Don't
I
spoil
know.
it.
I'm
Don't
not
spoil
gonna-
it.
I'm
I
not
ain't
gonna
seen it
I'm
yet.
not going to spoil it, but
I ain't
I'm
seen
just
it yet.
Don't
I'm
even
just
say that.
saying.
Jesus.
There's a reason why I didn't bring it up. You need people.
Okay.
I love
You
the
need-
docuseries.
I know, but
I'm just
you
saying,
need.
I love the docuseries.
Monty,
It's
you need.
definitely
I know, but you need people to see things for themselves.
right.
If
I'm
we
not
want-
going to spoil it.
but
I'm
you're
just saying.
all, you know you
Can we not do this on here?
Right.
hold on.
I'm just saying. I love it.
Money.
I can't say I loved it.
Hold on. As my homeboy said,
I'm gonna get both of y'all.
No, you drink it before I pour it out. There's a reason why I stopped where I stopped at.
I know. I'm just saying. I
But
loved it.
yes, but you started to almost give like you gotta let.
Let's just okay. Can we just
What are you reading, Chris?
Chris, what are you reading?
What are you reading, Chris?
Okay, so I found a book. So I am reading the Pulitzer Prize winning "The Dead Are Rising: The Life of Malcolm X" by Les and Tamara Payne. Tamara Payne. Yeah, that's
This
the yes, this one.
He got the paperback. You got the good one. You can end it.
Hold on.
The hardback is a good one, but as you
Do we
read
all
it,
have this book? Question mark. Book club. Anyway. Book club.
I'm the only one who hasn't gotten it yet. I'm waiting for my copy.
Yeah, I hear you. What's it called? I really want to get the what's the one about Harriet Tubman?
Which one? Okay,
She's
hold
got
on.
them all. She's got them all.
First of all, should I resurrect? Should I resurrect my book club for this book? If y'all want me to resurrect the book club for this book, I will do it.
I need motivation to read because I haven't been a reader, but I've been getting a lot better about it.
Yeah,
so.
I'm waiting for my copy.
First of all, D-Mac, you know how I do my book club. You don't even need the book the way that I break it down.
So I got to stand up. I've been sitting.
You know what? Y'all know the email for this channel is linked to this channel and my link tree. If you want me to resurrect the book club, this is what I want you to do. Click the email icon, say yes, then say a day of the week, and say a time that works for you. And the day of the week and the time that has the most votes is when we will meet and we'll go over this together. Fair enough? And y'all know how I do the book club. So even if you don't have the book, you can email me and say that you don't have the book, and I will scan the pages for that week and send it to you.
Okay.
We're talking about doing a book club?
Yes. So she's saying go to the email and pick a day and a time that's good for you.
I'm just irritating her.
We do this, Chris. We do this. We all act like family here, and these two get into it every time we're on here. So
good.
First of all, Chris, Monty lives like 30 seconds from me. He's always here borrowing books. Don't let him fool you. Because there was one book I had to call him like I need it for class. Like I need to like quote this for class.
If you don't understand that I got things to do,
And
move
then
your ass. Like,
but hold on. You know what his counter was? Well, when I picked up the book, I got strawberry shortcake. What kind of food you got at the house so I could bring it back? It's my book.
I bought it
But
back though.
and it's your food.
Exactly. It's
Make
my
it, make it
food.
make sense.
It's
Make it
my
make
food.
sense.
Okay.
Make it make sense.
It's
wait a
my
minute.
food.
Make it make sense.
He brought it back because I was making breakfast. But anywho, my final thoughts is, first of all, Chris, thank you for coming through and being open and honest with us and sharing your journey with us. And please come back as often as you want. My secondary final thought is never stop being willing to learn. I don't care where you
Absolutely.
fall in society. Never stop being willing to learn. And you all know that I love books. I'm working on writing a book regarding history. I have my own notes that people want me to turn my notes into books, which eventually I will get to that, but I gotta do it one step at a time. But if I don't leave anything else with this world, let me leave this. As much as I have read and
Alone.
as much as I have, shut the fuck up, Monty. As much as I have researched, I will tell you the best education that I have had. And if you don't believe me, when we wrap this live, go through my whole channel. And my whole channel is linked to all of my social media. Go through all of that. The best education I've had is talking to people one on one, not just about their cultures, not just about their heritage, but about their individual encounters. So I have a better understanding. And for those that are not Black or brown, please hear us when we tell you about our individual experiences, because it gives you a better insight into the full diaspora that encompasses us. We are not a monolith, just like you are not a monolith. But as always, I will see you all tomorrow. And like I always say, each one teach one, each one reach one.